Welcome back, everybody. It's Zach here, bringing you guys another fantasy football video. This one I'll be going over the remaining 8 games in week 2, going over which players I think should and shouldn't be in your starting lineup. Of course, if you guys did miss part 1 of this video, I went over the first 8 games that will include the Thursday night matchup that likely already happened by the time you're watching this video. So if you want to make sure you get access to those, just make sure you go rewatch that video. Hopefully you guys find this useful. Of course, as always, if you guys do have any specific start-sit questions, I'm more than happy to help you out in the comments, so just let me know. I'll do my best to get you guys rocked and rolled in. Watching the Thursday night football game right now as I'm recording this. Just watch Josh Allen throw a touchdown to James Cooks. That's super fun. Sorry, that's why I was looking over there. But yeah, super exciting here. I think it's really fun going through these games. Hopefully you guys are taking this advice, using it to help you guys get your rosters set up, and hopefully you guys think I'm giving good advice here. So yeah, I'll go through each game, just sort of go over what I think is going to happen, go over who should and shouldn't be in your lineups, and it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, with that, let's get into the first game here. So starting things off with the Jets at the Titans, I actually kind of think the Titans are going to win this game. I'm really just not a believer in the Jets overall this season. That being said, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, they're both going to be in your lineups here. They're probably the only Jets, though, that I would consider starting until further notice. I think I could see Mike Williams maybe creeping his way into being useful as he sort of ramps up his snap share. I'm not going to chase the Allen Lazard touchdowns left from last week. You can play him if you absolutely need to, but this should be a relatively low-scoring game. I don't want the third option on a bad offense generally, so I'd look elsewhere there. For the Titans, I think Pollard, he's a low-end RB2 for me. Personally, I'm currently stuck deciding between him and Devin Singletary this week. Devin Singletary playing the Commanders. I'm sort of leaning towards Singletary. I haven't really decided that yet, so if that gives you a little bit of context, I think he's a really similar play. Again, just to be a low-scoring game here, not expecting a lot of offense, although Pollard is the only Titan that I'm really even considering starting. You can start Calvin Ridley if you want to. Just a really tough matchup here against the Jets. I think Calvin Ridley is going to be a really great buy low after this week. I bet he makes the buy low video next week. So stay tuned for that one as well. But other than that, I think Tyjae Spears, super low end option if you need to go there. But in general, I think it's Pollard, Breece, and Wilson, and then nobody else in this game if you could do better. Next, we got the Bucks at the Lions. This game should be a lot of fun. Really excited for this one. For the Buccaneers, Evans, White, Godwin, they all need to be in your lineups here. Evans and White were super involved last week, as was Chris Godwin. Those three are effectively the offense here. And in this game, this offense should put up a lot of points. So really excited about all three of those guys. I'm definitely playing them. Baker Mayfield, he's a solid streaming option as well. I think you could do a lot worse there, so Baker might make it into your lineups if you're missing out on Jordan Love or something. I personally lost Love in a league and picked up Baker to play this week, so I'm acting on this advice for sure. Keep an eye on Bucky Irving as well. It'll be interesting to see how involved he is, along with Jalen McMillan. If these guys get more and more involved, we could see them being more useful, get down the road, but not going to play those guys or anything just yet. For the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and Sam Laporta, they're all going to be must starts. Jameson Williams and Montgomery, they're really solid options as well. I think I'm kind of looking to get Jameson in my lineup if I can, but you don't have to start him. And then Monty, he's like a standard low-end RB2, needs a touchdown to pay off, but he's obviously a really great bet to score a touchdown any given week, so I like that for sure. And then Jared Goff, really great streaming option as well. I think you could do a lot worse there, so keep him in mind if you need a streaming option as well. The third game here is going to be the Raiders at the Ravens. I think for the Raiders, Davante Adams and Brock Bowers should both probably be in your lineups. I was super encouraged by what I saw about Brock Bowers last week. I think he's going to be a really solid tight end option going forward. He's just a really damn good player, and they're going to look to get him the ball a lot. So Bowers has got to be in your lineup here, just with the state of the tight end position in general. And then Adams, you drafted him to start him. I think I'd still look to sell high on him if I could. I'd try to get out now because I don't think it's going to be a good year, but I think you're still playing him. Outside of that, for the Raiders, Alexander Mattison and Jacoby Myers, they're super low-end options. I would prefer to start Mattison over Zamir White. I'm definitely sitting Zamir White. There's no way I could really see myself playing him this week. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Derrick Henry, they're all four going to be in your lineups here. Yes, I'm saying to start both tight ends. Tight end position is really gross. I think both these guys are going to be top 10 tight ends when the season's done, so you're probably just playing both of them every single week. Then Zay Flowers is a solid wide receiver 3. I think you could do a lot worse, and you're probably playing Flowers, but if you are stacked, if you hit a couple of the later round guys last week, I think you could potentially see yourself benching Zay Flowers this week. Next, in what should be one of the most fun games this weekend, we've got the Rams at the Cardinals here. Really excited for this game. I actually think the Cardinals will probably win this game. But for the Rams, Cooper Kupp, Kyren Williams, they're going to be auto starts, especially with Puka Nacua out. They're going to have to lean on him, those two guys, a lot more. Stafford, he'll be a solid streaming option. There should be a lot of points scored in this game, so you could certainly do worse. Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Johnson, and then also Colby Parkinson, all low-end plays for me. I don't think you need to use any of them, but if they're decent enough players, they're going to be involved in this offense. Somebody's going to have to step up with Kupp or with Puka down, so you could play them. Just don't expect a lot. Understand that you could legitimately get 0 from those guys. For the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, James Conner, Marvin Harrison, and Trey McBride, they all need to be in your lineups. I do fully expect both Harrison and Trey McBride to get right this week. I traded for Marvin Harrison in a league just today, so I believe in Marvin Harrison. It was one of those super expensive leagues, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is there. I'm buying low on Marvin Harrison here, so he's got to be in your lineup here. And then Greg Dortch, he's a sneaky PPR play if you want to play him. Same with Michael Wilson, sort of. I don't really want to play either Dortch or Wilson, but if you need to, I think Dortch would be the play over Michael Wilson this week. Next, we got the Bengals at the Chiefs. I think for the Bengals, I think Ja'Marr Chase is really the only Bengal that I think you should be playing here. Joe Burrow, he's a low-end quarterback play. I would really look elsewhere for this. I think the Chiefs are one of the best defenses in the NFL. Joe Burrow does not look good right now. I know it's just 1 week, but he wasn't really good most of last year either, so it's been almost a year and a half now since we've seen Joe Burrow play good football. So I had to see it before I'm making him an auto start every single week. Like I would play Baker over Joe Burrow. I would play Jared Goff over Joe Burrow. Stafford would be in like the same tier here. There's a lot of options I'd be looking for outside of Burrow, so you don't need to play him by any means. And then Zach Moss, he's a low-end RB2. You're really hoping he scores a touchdown. He's obviously a good bet to do that just because, I mean, he is the goal line back for the Bengals offense. You can play him, just don't expect a lot there. For the Chiefs, Mahomes, Pacheco, Rice, and Kelsey, they're going to be auto starts pretty much every single week going forward. I really think Isaiah Pacheco might be one of the top 3 running backs in fantasy this week. We just saw what Ramondre Stevenson was able to do against the Bengals last week, so be super excited about Pacheco here. This could be a huge blow-up game for him. I think Xavier Worthy, he's a solid flex option. I don't know if that's going to work out this week, especially if Hollywood suits up. You'll have a little bit more competition for touches there. You need him to hit on a deep play, and I don't know if the Chiefs are going to need to score a lot to win this game. So I wouldn't necessarily trust Worthy in my lineup, but he does give some upsides. You can play him if you need to. Next, we've got the Steelers at the Broncos. I think the Steelers should win this game pretty handily here. Najee should have a great game. We saw the Broncos just get absolutely gashed last week on the ground by Kenneth Walker. Najee had a ton of workload last week with 20 carries. I wouldn't be shocked to see Najee go over 100 yards and a touchdown in this one. So Najee, I think he needs to be in your lineup, as does George Pickens. Just way too high of a target share there. He's the only real pass catcher involved in this offense. So you're playing George Pickens. Justin Fields, Pat Freiermuth, both low-end starting options here. I'd like to have something better than them, but I get it if you need to pivot there. There is a little bit of upside with each of those guys here. Beyond that, sorry, watching Devon Achane rip off a run. That's always fun. But beyond that, though, for the Broncos, I don't really want to start anybody here. Jaleel McLaughlin, Javonte Williams, the only 2 I would really consider. I prefer McLaughlin to Javonte, especially in full PPR. If you're in a non-PPR format, then I'd probably prefer Javonte. He's got a better shot of scoring. But this offense looked really bad. They're really spreading the ball around. I don't know if they'll throw the ball 40 times again this week either. So can't really trust a wide receiver there. Don't really want to play any of the running backs. So I'd prefer to sit all of them, but it would go McLaughlin, then Javonte, and then at receiver, I guess Vele would probably be my preferred starting option, but I really don't want to play any of them there. Next game here is going to be the Bears at the Texans. I think the Texans are just going to absolutely shellac the Bears here. This should not be a very competitive game. For the Bears, DJ Moore is the only Bear I'd really consider playing. Sounds like Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze are both potentially going to miss this game as well, but even if they're active, there's no way I'm playing moderately banged up wide receivers in a game where I don't expect the team to score a lot of points. So not playing any of those guys. Caleb's on my bench. DeAndre Swift would be like a really low-end running back option, but I'd really hope you've got a better option there, so I wouldn't want to play him in this matchup. For the Texans, Stroud, Mixon, Collins, Dell, they're going to be in your lineup probably every single week, to be honest, so you got to play those guys. And then Stephon Diggs, he's a wide receiver 3, better in PPR. He's going to be utilized so close to the line of scrimmage that I don't think he'll have any real boom games here, but should be involved enough. You can play him. Just don't expect a repeat of last week out of Diggs this week. And the last game of the week here on Monday Night Football, we've got the Falcons at the Eagles. This one's going to be super telling for me with the Falcons. I think if the Falcons bust on offense again this week against the Eagles defense that we did see sort of get exposed a little bit last week by the Green Bay Packers, I'll be a little bit more concerned about the Falcons offense if things don't break right here. So keep that in mind. But that being said, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, they should all be in your lineups. I'm not going to stream Kirk Cousins or mess around with any of that. Not going to flex Darnell Mooney or anything there. But those 3 guys probably need to be in your lineups here. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, they're going to be auto starts every single week all year. And then Dallas Goedert, he'll be a weekly option at tight end. I don't expect a lot this week just because I don't think the Eagles are going to need to do a ton. Don't really expect the Falcons to score a lot this week, and I do think that we'll see a game where the Eagles probably win this game relatively handily. You'll see a lot of Saquon. Maybe the Goddard scores a touchdown early, but you kind of need that to happen for him to pay out. So I'd probably look for other options, but it's not like you're picking someone up off waivers to start over Goddard this week. That'll do it for all the starts and sits this week. Up next, I'll be doing my Sunday morning live stream. I am traveling this weekend, so it won't be the usual setup. It'll be just me on a laptop here, so don't expect a very high quality production on Sunday, but I will absolutely be there to help answer your guys' start sit questions. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That way you can get access to that. I will go live at 9 a.m. on Sunday. You'll get a notification when I go live if you're subscribed and everything. So just be ready for that. Obviously, should be a lot of fun there. Beyond that, of course, there will continue to be 4 to 5 videos a week all season, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for that. That way you don't miss anything there. And then if you did make it this far in the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Just helps me out quite a bit. Other than that, of course, if you guys have any questions, any start sit questions, I love helping you guys get those rosters set, so let me know there. And I'll do my best to help you guys get all set and get you guys a win this week. So yeah, really excited. Really excited that we got football rolling here, and hopefully this Thursday night football game is a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys can get another win this week. So yeah, I'll catch you with the next one. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out these other videos here if you haven't. If you want more content, please feel free to follow me on Twitter at RealSteelFFB. I'll be more active on there as the season goes on. Thanks. Catch you later.